Small world, the world of informative flashcards. Flashcards: An Introduction to Law Part 1. Introduction of law. What is law? Law. Black's Law Dictionary defines law as a body of rules of action or conduct prescribed by controlling authority and having binding legal force. Functions of the law. The law can serve to 1. Keep the peace. 2. Maintain the status quo. 3. Preserve individual rights. 4. Protect minorities against majorities. 5. Promote social justice. And 6. Provide for orderly social change. The 4 objectives or purposes of law. 1. Maintaining order. In a civil society, law is required to maintain order. As citizens, we also have an obligation to comply with laws. 2. Establishing standards. The law tells the threshold between acceptable and unacceptable behaviors in society. 3. Protecting liberties. It focuses on protecting individuals' freedom from unreasonable detention, as opposed to protecting personal safety. 4. Resolving disputes. Dispute resolution includes going to court or through the process of alternative dispute resolution (ADR). Types of laws. Eternal law, divine law, natural law, human or positive law. Eternal law, meaning. Eternal laws are laws that have applied since the beginning of time and would exist till the end of time. These laws cannot be changed. A very good example of eternal law is the law of gravity. From the inception of time, it has been understood that what goes up must come down. This law would not be changed and is thus right to be regarded as eternal. Divine law, defined. Divine law is referred to as laws made by a deity to govern the affairs of man. A good example of divine law can be found in the Bible. The logic behind the use of divine law stems from the fact that God, accepted as all-knowing and all-wise, is in the best position to make laws for the use of mankind. Natural law, defined. Natural law can be said to be law as espoused by the natural law theorists. This law is said to be the law that is innate in all mankind and can be deduced through the use of reason. For example, it is accepted in all cultures that murder is wrong and should be punished. Natural law is said to be the guide which positive law must follow in order for it to be valid. If positive law is at variance with natural law, it could lead to injustice in the society. Positive or human law, defined. Positive law can also be regarded as human law. These are laws made by man in order to guide the conduct of members of the society. They are laws made by persons given the authority to do so either directly or indirectly by the society. Legal positivism doesn't concern itself with morals. Once a law has been enacted by persons in authority, it is valid. Classifications of law. The following are the major classifications of law. 1. Public and private law. 2. Civil law and criminal law. 3. Substantive and procedural law. 4. Municipal and international law. 5. Written and unwritten law. 6. Common law and equity. Public and private law, defined. Public law, a law that deals with the relationship between the state, its citizens, and other states. Examples of public law. A. Constitutional law. B. Administrative law. C. Criminal law. D. International law, and so on. Private law, on the other hand, is a law that concerns itself with the relationship amongst private citizens. Examples. A. Law of torts. B. Law of contract. C. The law of trust, and so on. Civil law and criminal law, defined. Civil law is the law that deals with the relationship between citizens and provides means for remedies if the right of a citizen is breached. Examples of civil law. A. The law of contract. B. The law of torts. C. Family law, etc. Criminal law is the law that regulates crime in the society. It punishes acts which are considered harmful to the society at large. Example of criminal law is A. Revised Penal Code. B. Anti-terror law, among others. Substantive and procedural law, defined. Substantive law is the main body of the law dealing with a particular area of law. For example, A. Criminal law. B. Anti-terror law. Procedural law is law and that deals with the process which the courts must follow in order to enforce the substantive law. Examples. A. Civil procedure. B. Rules on criminal procedure. C. Rules of evidence. Municipal or domestic and international law, defined. Municipal or domestic law is the law that emanates from and has effect on members of a specific state. Example of a municipal law. Greater than 1987 Philippine Constitution. International law is the law between countries. It regulates the relationship between different independent countries and is usually in the form of treaties, international customs, etc. Examples of international law. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Written and unwritten law, defined. Written laws are those laws that have been validly enacted by the legislature of a country. Unwritten laws, on the other hand, are those laws that are not enacted by the legislature. They include both customary and case law. Customary law, as part of its basic characteristic, is generally unwritten. Case law, though written down in a documentary format, would be regarded as unwritten law based on the fact that it is not enacted by the legislature. Common law and equity, defined. Common law means the law developed by the old common law courts of the King's Bench, the courts of common pleas, and the courts of exchequer. The English common law is regarded as such because it is law common to all parts of England. It grew over time from the practices, customs, and way of life of the people. It is largely unwritten. The first common law judge was the king himself. People who had disputes usually brought them to the king to settle them. The main sources of Philippine law. 1. Constitution, fundamental law of the land. 2. Statutes, laws enacted by representatives of the people. 3. Treaties, agreement between or among countries. 4. Conventions, a large formal meeting of people who do a particular job or have a similar interest, or a large meeting for a political party. 5. Judicial decisions, the determination by a court of competent jurisdiction on matters submitted to it. Synonyms: judgment. Torts law, defined. A tort law is an act or omission that gives rise to injury or harm to another and amounts to a civil wrong for which courts impose liability. What is ethical law? Example. Legality means an act is in accordance with the law. Ethics law is about concepts of right and wrong behavior. Some actions may be legal, but in some people's opinion, not ethical. For example, testing medicines on animals is legal in many countries, but some people believe it is not ethical. Why is it called common law? The common law, so named because it was common to all the king's courts across England. It originated in the practices of the courts of the English kings in the centuries following the Norman conquest in 1066. What is the difference between common law and civil law? In common law, past legal precedents or judicial rulings are used to decide cases at hand. Under civil law, codified statutes and ordinances rule the land. Philippine court system. A. Trial court. B. Appellate court. C. Special court. Trial court, defined. Trial court, the court before which issues of fact and law are first determined. Appellate court, defined. Appellate court is the higher court that hears and reviews the appeals from legal cases that have already been heard and ruled on in a lower court. Special court, defined. Special court is a court created for an exceptional and temporary purpose. Regular courts in the Philippines. A. Supreme Court or SC. B. Court of Appeals or CA. C. Regional Trial Court or RTC. D. Metropolitan Trial Court or MTC, or Municipal Trial Court MTC, or Municipal Circuit Trial Court or MCTC. Functions of courts. 1. To provide an impartial forum for the resolution of legal disputes. 2. To protect individuals against the arbitrary use of governmental power. 3. To provide for a formal record of legal status. Jurisdiction, defined. Jurisdiction is the power of a court to adjudicate cases and issue orders.